Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video. We'll see how this turns out. Obviously it turned out good enough because I posted it. This is going to be a Q&A. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Abby. I go by Backwoman. I don't know, I just post a lot of gym content, but I also like to post some life content as well. Here are some questions that you guys asked me. First, how tall are you? I'm 5'9.5", but I do round up to 5'10", just because. The next question is, what's some gym advice for an athletic thin girl? Honestly, this is just for anyone who is on the thinner side looking to get into the gym. You need to eat more. You need to eat a lot in order to put on muscle. Being in a constant caloric deficit is not going to get you anywhere. And I'm so tired, I know everyone else is tired of it too, of girls saying that they don't want to eat a lot and they don't want to lift heavy because they don't want to get bulky. I've been working out consistently along with nutrition for the past almost 3 years now. Maybe some people think I'm bulky, but like, you have to really work to get bulky. Please don't be scared of that. So I would say focus on food. You want to get about 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. That's approximate. I think it's like 1 to 1.3 or 4. I would recommend getting a feel for the gym and then starting to go more. So if that just means going once a week at first, go once a week at first until you can eventually work your way up to like maybe 4 or 5 days a week. I know initially for me, I was literally going every single day. You need rest. I personally go, this is another question, how many days of the week do you go to the gym? I go 5 days a week. When I want to cut, I do cardio 1 or 2 of my rest days, but like I'm prioritizing rest because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rest. They're called rest days for a reason. So yeah, I'd recommend in total like 4 or 5 days a week. Then how much cardio are you doing pre and post lift? So it's different every day for me. Right now, I'm at like my peak cardio for my cut. Hopefully I don't have to do more. Right now on my back and bicep days and my chest and tricep days, I'm doing 10 minutes pre-workout and then 45 minutes post-workout. On my ab and shoulder days, I'm doing 20 minutes before and 40 minutes after. Leg days, 10 minutes before, 30 minutes after. And then rest day, an hour if I can. But if I can't, I'm not going to stress it too much. So another thing that I used to do is I would just walk into the gym and start working out. Oh my goodness, not a good decision. That is why I have shoulder issues now. I highly recommend doing some sort of cardio, light cardio. That's why I'm only doing like 10 minutes before. And just to get your muscles warm. You know, you can't just walk in there and start throwing around some weight. I do that and then I stretch because my muscles are warm, so I feel like I can actually stretch them, and then I'll do some warm-ups and get into whatever I'm doing that day. The reason why I do 20 minutes pre-lift on my ab and shoulder days is because that's just a light, easy day. So 20 minutes, I'm not stressing it. It's fine. I used to do my cardio before my lift. I know some people do. If you're really wanting to be able to put forth your best effort in your lift, I would not recommend doing your cardio before your lift. Just think about it. You're expending all of your energy on your cardio instead of your lift. What do you do on rest days? Like I said before, I might do some cardio, but if not, rest. You need to recover. You need to have a lot of water, recoup. Training goals for the next few months. This one, perfect timing to be asking me something like this actually. Right now, I'm still doing high volume, but when my strength begins to kind of fade, I guess, I'll switch to higher reps and less volume. That's what I like to do. So on bulks, I'll do, my first set might be 12, but my second set is probably like 10. And then my last set tends to be like 6 to 8, more towards 8. When I go on a cut, I like to just do more reps, I guess, and less volume. I'm not focused on hitting a specific weight for my cut. I'm just going to cut until I feel like not cutting anymore. I probably won't get as lean as I did last time just because I was starting to have health issues and there's no reason to be doing all that. I got down to, 14% body fat. As a girl, that's not really healthy, so I'm just going to stop cutting when I want to stop cutting. I'm hopefully switching to a private gym this week. Crossing my fingers, I hope I just do that tomorrow. I need to get it done. I want to get it done before school starts back up. I also start going back to work on Monday. I may be getting with a coach. So this private gym, I visited it about 2 months ago and I talked to the coach there, the owner. I told him that I didn't want to start with a coach yet and he said might as well start now. So I think that's why I've been pushing back switching to this gym because I'm nervous, but it's in my future. So next question, what's your split? First, let me say it changes all the time because of school and things like that. But right now, Sunday, quads, glutes, and calves. Monday, rest. Tuesday, back and biceps. Wednesday, shoulders, also rear delts, which yes, that's a part of your shoulders, but some people do that on their back day. And then abs. Thursday, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. Friday, rest. Saturday, chest, triceps, and forearms. I like to have a rest day after my leg days for obvious reasons. I do forearms on my chest and tricep day because I wanna get big forearms. I don't know. Definitely can't see them in this lighting, but I do work my forearms. Rep ranges, I already talked about this. On a bulk, I do 3 sets of like 6 to 10 probably. And then on a cut, it's 3 sets of 10 to 12. How many grams of fat do you eat in a day? I actually love this question because it's not talked about enough. I try to get about 70 grams, which I believe is the recommendation for women anyways. Fat is vital for hormonal health, especially for women. If you're not getting enough fat, you're gonna lose your period, most likely. I didn't track my fat on my last cut and I really regret that. So that's why like in the morning, I'm having whole eggs instead of egg whites. Fat is so important, so thank you for asking that question. My last cut, I was only tracking calories and protein, but now I'm tracking those as well as fats and carbs. You can also search My Plate online and that'll give you a bunch of like the daily recommendations for the American diet. What's your favorite carb source? So there are 2 different types of carbs. There are simple or quick digesting carbs, and then there are complex or slow digesting carbs. My favorite simple carbs are my pre-workout snack, which is 2 rice cakes with sugar-free jam and a banana on top. Sometimes instead of jam, I'll do honey, which is another good carb source. I also really like Rice Krispie treats. I've got 2 in my bag right now that I'm about to eat before going into the gym. And then for slow digesting carbs, I eat sweet potatoes all the time, 2 times a day, every single day. Favorite post-workout meal? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't necessarily like eat a post-workout meal. I will hit my lift and then I'll eat a protein bar. I like to get most of my protein from like actual food, but it's just really easy and quick, so that's why I do it. Whey protein is a good source for after your lift, so like a protein shake or something like that. And I know everyone was saying there for a while that the anabolic window is like what, an hour? Not even an hour, it's like 30 minutes after your workout. I believe it's about 3 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't really have to stress it that much. Best places to shop, or what do you buy for tall girl clothes besides Young LA? So for tall girls, I will say, even though you just said besides Young LA, I wear Young LA sweatpants all the time and they're always men's. I get extra large. I'm 5'10", about 165 right now. They're a little big, but I don't mind because I want them to be long enough. I do wear my stuff low-waisted though, so. Also garage sweatpants. I do air dry them though, so that they don't shrink. This isn't gym clothes, but American Eagle jeans, they come in longs, so that's like one of the only places I can get jeans from. And then in general, I get most of my clothes from Young LA. I thrift a lot. A lot of the things I wear are thrifted. Don't sleep on the thrift store, guys. Garage also has some sports bras that I like, and tank tops and shirts like to work out in. So that's what I recommend. I need to stop pointing at you. What are your plans for bodybuilding? So like I said, I'm switching to a private gym. I plan on working with a coach there. I'm gonna compete in figure. I thought it was gonna be bikini for the longest time, but when I talked to that coach, he said figure. I trust a coach more than I trust myself. So if he says figure, he says figure. I'd like to become a personal trainer, and then I'd like to get my pro card and become a coach. You don't have to have your pro card to be a coach, but I want my coach to have a pro card, so might as well get my pro card before I become a coach. How to break through a training or a growth plateau? This is an interesting question, and I'm not sure you guys are gonna like the answer. If you mean physically how to break through, go on a bulk or a cut. If you don't have a lot of muscle, there's no reason to cut. So bulk, don't be afraid of it. And then for mental, just push through. I mean, it's discipline. You just gotta go. You gotta go. You're gonna see results eventually. You just gotta keep going until you get there. Does your split change when you start school? How do you navigate making time for it? 100% yes. It fluctuates all the time because of school. I will say though, fortunately, like last semester, I didn't have a job. I mean, I was a learning assistant at school, but I wasn't getting paid for it. When I do work, like I'm about to work, I'm not gonna be working that many hours. This is gonna sound harsh, but if you want to do it, you're gonna make time for it. If you truly care about the gym and bettering yourself, you will make the time for it. Next question. Interesting question. The most embarrassing moment you can think of. I'm assuming this means in the gym. I feel like I haven't had any really embarrassing moments. I have hit my head a lot of times when I'm standing up. Protein farts on the Stairmaster too. Go crazy. Whenever people walk by, I'll just like pretend it was them. And I'll be like, ooh, it was me. It's always me. Next question. When did you start working out? I was always in sports in high school. I was in mainly basketball and volleyball, but I was also in softball a little bit too. I don't know how old I was. I want to say I was a junior or senior, and we had to start lifting weights over the summer for sports and sometimes during the season too. Not for like building strength, but to maintain it. So that kind of got me introduced to it. I also dated a couple guys who were into the gym. After my senior basketball season, I started going to the gym for real. I wasn't really consistent until the end of 2023, and that's when I started looking into nutrition too. I say looking into because I didn't know what the freak I was doing at first. It took a long time to figure out the whole nutrition thing, and then I didn't get a good grasp of that until about 2024. It's 2026 now, guys. It's January 1st. I've been working out for like, I want to say 2 or 3 years. What's something you wish you knew starting out? I've got several things listed down on here. It is going to take a long time to see good results, but it's worth it. You'll get some newbie gains, but to see the results you want to see, it's going to take a lot of time and dedication, but it is so worth it in the end. There's no point if you refuse to enjoy the journey. If you wish you could just go into the gym for 5 minutes and then be jacked, you've got to enjoy the process. I love going to the gym. I literally wish I could live at the gym. It makes it so much more enjoyable when you actually like the process. You can and will make the progress you want to make if you put forth the effort it takes to get there. I would see these girls on social media when I first started working out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am never going to look like that. That is so insane. Look where I'm at now. You will get there. You just have to put in the time and the effort. Don't give up. You will get there. I wish I knew my nutritional needs. When I started caring about what I was putting into my body, I still didn't really know what I was doing. I'm still pretty lost, but I know a lot more now, and I know how important nutrition is. I wish I knew that then. Cardio will not make you toned. When I first started working out after my basketball season ended, I was just doing a lot of sprints and stuff because that's what I was doing in basketball because I wanted to get toned. I also did the Chloe Ting ab workouts. Another thing on here, just hitting abs won't get you a six-pack. You need to have muscle. How do I say this? If you just start doing cardio, you might lose weight, but there's not going to be any muscle to show. You have to build muscle, is what I'm saying. Do you train for aesthetics or strength? Both, but I focus more on aesthetics, but I really do love getting stronger in the gym. What made you start working out? So, I mean, like I said, sports, I had to work out, but I've always been insecure. I was like, I want to say skinny fat. I wasn't fat by any means. I was chubby at one point, but like in high school, I wasn't chubby, but I wasn't super skinny either, and I also just didn't have muscle. So I just looked awkward, if that makes sense. I was always a little chubbier than everyone else anyways. I was getting stretch marks in elementary school, even though I wasn't like fat or anything. I've always been like hyper aware of my body. Next question. This one's not gym related, so I'm actually kind of excited to answer it. All-time favorite series, fandom, etc. My all-time favorite anything is Marvel. So I like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange. Those are my top 3. This is going to be controversial. First, Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and then Tom Holland. I'm so sorry that Tobey Maguire isn't in first place for me, but can we all just agree that Tom Holland is last? Thank you. And then my favorite Marvel movie is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's a really long movie, but I've seen it like 10 times, I think. For TV shows, I really like The Vampire Diaries. I was Catherine Pierce for Halloween. And I really like Death Note. I've watched that through like 2 or 3 times, I think. I think a lot of anime can be really corny. Like, I'm not gonna flame anime because you guys are gonna come at me. You guys know that some animes can be really corny. Like, I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now, and like there are some really good parts, but there are some really corny parts, and I don't like the corny parts, but I feel like Death Note isn't really corny. I also like Castlevania. I just finished that. That was pretty good too, and it's not corny either. I recommend that. It's on Netflix. And then SpongeBob. I make so many SpongeBob references. SpongeBob has been my life for forever. I used to ask for a Krabby Patty shaped cake. I never got that. As a kid, I loved SpongeBob so much that if we were gonna leave in an hour, my mom would tell me we're leaving in 2 SpongeBobs, and I'm like, gotcha. What do you do for chest and how often? I hit chest once a week. I know a lot of girls don't want to hit chest. Don't hit chest if you don't want to, but I think girls should hit chest. I think it's awesome. I warm up with push-ups. I do flat press with either a barbell or dumbbells, and then an incline press using a barbell or dumbbells. Chest flies on the pec deck machine. I like to do an isolateral movement on a plate-loaded incline machine. Sometimes I do that instead of just normal incline. What is some good cutting to maintain advice? I don't know if they meant like they've been cutting for a while. Now they want to maintain, but that's how I'm going to answer it. Once you think you're ready to start maintaining, start cutting back on calories. Not cutting back on calories. Start adding calories and taking away cardio until you find your basal metabolic rate. You can also search TDEE calculator online to figure out what your BMR is, what you need to eat to cut, to bulk. Take that with a grain of salt. It's going to ask like your height, gender, weight, activity activity levels. It's not entirely accurate, but it gives you a ballpark. Go-to sweet treat or cheat meal. My cheat meals happen when there's a holiday and I just eat whatever's there for the most part. But I do love Halo Top ice cream and I'll eat the whole pint. I really like the strawberry cheesecake one. What keeps you disciplined? I didn't know how to answer this at first, but I said once you start getting into the habit of going, it just becomes a part of your daily routine, like eating. I thoroughly enjoy going to the gym. So yes, there are some days where I don't want to go. Like I honestly don't want to go tonight. It's legs. It's going to be really busy. But like it's not even a question if I'm going to go or not. That's like questioning, am I going to drink water today? Like obviously, it's a part of life. Like you don't really have a choice. That's how going to the gym feels with me. But like I really enjoy going to the gym, so it's not like torture or anything. What's your protein goal? Like I said, about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So right now about 160 to 170. Do you track your calories? Yes, but you don't necessarily have to make progress. If you think you're gonna have struggles with it mentally, you don't have to, but I do think it's really helpful. I've definitely struggled with that, but I've come a long way. Favorite muscle to train and why? When I'm on a bulk, I like chest because I love benching heavy weight. It makes me feel so cool. I also really like back just because it's fun. And then on a cut, I think I like shoulders and biceps because I like seeing my striations and vascularity. Then the last question, do you know your purpose in life? I didn't even write anything down for this. No, that's something I'm struggling with so much right now. I'm about to graduate college next semester. I'm not going to grad school. I did not apply. I'm graduating with a psych degree. I don't know what I want to do. I'm working at a daycare now, and that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but like I think I'm just gonna work there until I get something figured out. Hopefully I can get some personal training advice from people at my private gym. I really would like to be a personal trainer, but I would need another job on top of that because I'm not big on social media yet. I don't know what my purpose in life is at all. I've always been jealous of the people who have always known what they want to do or what they want to be when they grow up. I never had that. I switched my major a few times and I still think I made the wrong decision. What is the purpose of life? I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows. We all live and we all die. Just trying to make the most out of the short amount of time I have on this earth. Not to get all philosophical, but I don't know what my purpose is. And I don't need to know. I'm 21. It's still scary not knowing, but I'll figure something out. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was kind of like a heavy topic to end on. I apologize. I enjoyed this. I hope you guys like this. I'm really sorry if it didn't turn out well. Obviously, it's nighttime and the sky is now dark. I've been yapping for so long. Wonder how long I have been yapping for. 33 minutes? Are we like for real? That's insane. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I need to come up with some sort of outro, but I don't have one. So for now, I'm just gonna say peace.